Alright folks, strap in because today we're diving into the brain of a man who's so obsessed with himself, he makes your most narcissistic ex look like a saint. I'm talking about Stephen Dedalus, aka James Joyce's alter ego and Ireland's most self-absorbed jerk. Let's start with a portrait of an artist as a young man, where Stephen Dedalus spends most of his time pondering over how he's just too damn smart for everyone else. I mean sure, every teenager goes through that nobody understands me phase, but Stephen? Oh no, this guy takes it to a whole new level. He decides that he's not just misunderstood, he's an actual freaking artist. And not just any artist, but one destined to leave all these plebs in the dust. That's like a high school kid saying they're too good for the school talent show because they're the next Picasso. Cringe. But what really grinds my gears is Stephen's so-called epiphanies. You know those moments where he suddenly gets it? Except he doesn't. Not really. First, he thinks he's destined for the priesthood. Yes, a Catholic priest. Because nothing says I'm deep and mysterious like swearing off dating, marriage and everything fun. Then, epiphany. He realizes, nah, I'm better than that. So he quits thinking, I'll be an artist instead. Which in his mind is basically the same as being God. And then there's this bit where he's staring at a bird and bam, another epiphany. He's like, I'm Dedalus, master of flight, soaring above the mundane world of mortals. Dude, it's just a bird, chill out. But oh, it doesn't end there. Fast forward to Ulysses, and Stephen Dedalus is back. Older, but not much wiser. This time he's less about becoming the next Da Vinci and more about being a brooding, pretentious mess. Think anime character Sasuke Uchiha but without the ninja skills and with a lot more whining about his dead mother. Stephen walks around Dublin having what he thinks are deep thoughts. But they're really just the ramblings of a guy who's read way too much and lived way too little. He's broke, alone, and so full of himself that he doesn't realize how pathetic he's become. And Joyce? Oh, Joyce just lets him keep on spiraling, like he's watching some dark, twisted reality show and refusing to change the channel. Now about the name Dedalus. Joyce thought he was being so clever with that one. You know, Dedalus, the mythological dude who built the labyrinth and made wings for his son, Icarus? Yeah, Joyce was basically screaming, look at me, I'm so smart by naming Stephen after him. But spoiler alert, Stephen's no genius inventor. He's just a guy flapping his wings thinking he's flying, but really he's just crashing and burning. And we're all here to watch. And let's talk about Stephen's relationship with women, because how can we not? He's obsessed with his mother, rejects his religion, and then what? He just wanders around haunted by her ghost but can't bring himself to care about any real living women. Seriously Stephen, get it together man. So is Stephen Dedalus a misunderstood genius or just a pretentious jerk? Honestly, it's a little of both. But mostly he's just a guy who needs to get over himself. Maybe, just maybe, if he'd spend less time chasing his own tail and more time, I don't know, living life, he might have actually been happy, but then again, where's the fun in that? But here's the thing, Stephen Dedalus, in all his self-absorbed glory, is kind of a big deal. He's the prototype for the modernist anti-hero, characters who are deeply flawed, lost in thought and endlessly fascinating to analyze. Without Stephen, we probably wouldn't have the Holden Caulfields of the world, those literary icons who whine and moan their way through adolescence, making us question everything and nothing at the same time. He also kicked off this whole trend of using stream of consciousness writing where we get to be inside these characters' messy heads, and trust me, it's a wild, often confusing ride. And let's not forget Stephen's theory of aesthetics. Ah yes, because nothing says artistic genius like coming up with your own pretentious philosophy about beauty. Stephen argues that true art is about capturing the wholeness, harmony and radiance of an object, leading to a moment of aesthetic rest where time stops and you're just stuck there, contemplating the art. Which is ironic considering Stephen himself is stuck in a permanent state of aesthetic rest, contemplating his own navel. But hey, this idea of art being more about the internal experience than the external world, it influenced a whole generation of modernist writers who were more interested in what was going on inside people's head than what was happening around them. So yeah, Stephen's theory might be high on the BS scale, but it left a mark. Stephen inspired generations of writers to explore characters who are more real, more flawed, and way more interesting than your average hero. So yeah, he's a self-centered jerk, but he's also the blueprint for a whole new way of storytelling. And for that, we kind of have to give him some credit. Just don't tell him I said that. His ego doesn't need the boost. And that, my friends, is Stephen Dedalus, a man who spent his life trying to find himself, only to end up lost in the labyrinth of his own mind. Until next time, keep your feet on the ground and maybe don't stare at the birds for too long, okay?